Welcome to the Epic Dad Show. This is your host, Fraser Cameron, and right now I am squinting because the sun is shining brightly and I'm absolutely loving it. Just come back from a training session on the track where a number of things happened that caused some moments for reflection. I lost my earphones that I use to listen to some music as I warm up because I train alone. So having the company of the music is very good. And when I say I lost it, I temporarily lost it, the cap to one of the earphones. I thought it had gone missing, but it was stuck in my ear. So apart from feeling slightly embarrassed there as I was searching for something that was in my ear, it made me realize just how far I have come in terms of anger and frustration. I've always been a very passionate person. I worn my heart on my sleeve is another expression. Very emotional, right? The ups, the downs, the ins and outs, all of it, right? The happiness, the sadness. And I am just me. I don't suppress it. I don't hold it back. And when I do, it causes problems. But in the past, I guess the anger has often got the better of me in terms of being frustrated by the little things, and they tell you not to sweat the small stuff, but I used to let the little things build up and I'd get frustrated, and misery loves company, right? So the more frustrated you get, it just gathers and gathers and gathers and builds and builds and builds. And you end up making a mountain out of a molehill, right? And we all know how stupid and silly that is. But yet I did it so many times. But yet today, when these things happen, and I had a shocker earlier today with client calls and with a call with my coach, the internet wasn't playing ball and it was cutting in and out. I just giggled, laughed, and just went, oh, well, it is what it is, right? And I think that to me shows my considerable growth. I'm constantly pushing, constantly improving, constantly searching for more, right? And for me, that was a big deal. So laughing it off at the track, laughing it off with the internet problems, not letting it get to me, and instead of looking for things to blame, thinking about solutions, thinking about what else I could do if the internet wasn't down. How differently could I spend my time? What could I do to add value, to generate the outcomes that I want? And it's such a mindset shift. So instead of seeing barriers, you see opportunities. Instead of seeing restrictions, you see growth. And I think that is a massive, massive mindset change for me that's happened over the last 4 or 5 years. I think back to what I was like, and it was always frustration. And it carried over in other aspects of my life. I guess I started seeing barriers for other people too. And it's just ridiculous. My whole life I've been someone that's been enthusiastic and positive, and there's always a way, and you'll create a way. And 5 or 6 years ago, I'd lost that. And I think it was constantly banging my head against a brick wall. It was living someone else's life. I didn't have clarity around what I wanted, right? So not to say it was meaningless, but you go through the motions. You don't have a particular point. You don't have a particular intent. And so you end up finding frustration in the smallest things. But today just proved to me how far I've come. Things that would have derailed me, things that would have frustrated me, resulted in a laugh and inspiration to go and do something completely different. And I think for me, I saw opportunities. I saw the chance to do something differently. I saw the chance to do something else. I saw the chance to catch up on something that needed attention. So in the past, that would have derailed me. I would have got frustrated. I would have sat in the corner being angry, putting barriers up, thinking of all the reasons why I can't do things. But today, the flow returned pretty quickly. I ended up having a great training session once I found the earphone cover in my ear. And I had some great calls with people. I found a way around it. I used personal hotspot and went and stood in the corner and held it up and had the calls. And then focused on other areas. So for me, it was just the personal illustration of the impact of growth, of the impact of seeing opportunities and seeing choices instead of seeing barriers. And the key behind it is purpose. I didn't have that clarity of purpose 6 or 7 years ago. I didn't have that clear direction. I didn't have the path I wanted to take clearly mapped out. So the frustrations would rear their ugly head and would stop what I was doing. It would cause me to question everything, and it would cause me to go round in circles, which ironically caused more frustration. The last 4 or 5 years with clarity of purpose, this has happened less and less and less. There's been less frustration, less anger, more opportunity, more fun, more epicness, and that's what it's all about. Clarity of purpose. Now that Purpose Month has ended. It was the last day yesterday, the last day of April, which is Purpose Month. And we're now heading into, in May, Superpowers Month. It's the month of my son's birthday. It's also the month of when my wife and I first met 11 years ago. So it's a significant month, and I thought it apt that superpowers was the focus. So I look forward to, over the next month, talking more about superpowers, helping you to identify yours, and then helping you to discover how to combine them with your purpose to create epic value. And we'll talk more about what you can do with that value, but it certainly enables you to work less, earn more, and play more, but more importantly, to make a massive impact at work, home, and play. I look forward to sharing more with you on Superpowers over the next month. Until then, please be 100% truly epic.